Welcome to the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. Whether inside or outside the loop, we are talking everything soccer in Houston. Y'all ready? Let's get it. Houston, welcome to another episode of the Bayou City Soccer Podcast. My name is Rudy Segura. Today is just me, but we're going to do some quick hits and get you through all the information you wanted to know about the games that happened this weekend. We only saw the Dynamo Dos in action as well as the Dash, so we'll get right to it. But first of all, we just want to thank our main sponsor, Senate Avenue, for their great support. So go, if you guys support Bayou City Soccer, go support our friends at 7th Avenue. They're on 290 and Beltway 8. Pretty, easy to spot, pretty easy to get around town. If you just get on the Beltway or one of the main roads, it'll get you there, man. So yeah, check out Senate Avenue for sure. Again, proud sponsors of Bayou City Soccer. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the game on Friday. So Friday we had the Real Monarchs against Houston Dynamo. Houston Dynamo, obviously the visiting team. This match here was just, trading punches between featherweights until one of them gave. So it was a really fun match. I personally thought that maybe Real Monarchs would get the best out of Dynamo, and it seemed that way at one point in the match. Real Monarchs obviously starting the scoring in the 9th minute with a goal by St. Clair. Then you had Papa score his first goal, what would end up being a hat trick for the night. And then before the first half ended, Wellings would give the advantage to the Monarchs, 2-1 going into the halftime. And then after that, something sparked, man. Isaiah Reed ended up coming in, changing the game. He scored in the 49th minute. Pretty good goal. And then again, it was Monarchs weren't given, they weren't putting themselves down. And the third goal was a beauty from outside of the box. And it looked like that was going to be it for the Dynamo, but I don't know if it was a celebration or what, guys, but it got into Kenny's Bundy's squad, and they just completely switched it around. You had Papa score a penalty in the 61st minute. Then you had Reed score again in the 62nd minute. So back-to-back goals right there. And then Papa again finishing a hat-trick in the 84th minute. So match ended up 5-3. The team looked very well. Obviously, you had Xavier Valdez on goal. Marana, Lampman, Maples, LaFleur were your defenders. And the midfield to begin, you had Brooklyn Reigns, Goose, Diego Gonzalez, and up top, your three attacking pieces was Papa and Doye, men of the match, of course, with the 3 goals. You had Sik Soto, and you had Evans on the flank as well. So, overall, the team did pretty well. Real Monarchs, in all honesty, it's down the table. So a win was definitely something that could have, had the better odds, I would say, for the Dynamo to get. So good for those to actually, go into this high scoring match and able to put all 3 points in the bag and return home as they'll take on, I believe, they will be taking on playing at home on Sunday, actually, against Sporting Kansas City too. So it'll be another fun game. Keep an eye out there because we'll have tickets for that match. So if you're interested in going, check our social medias, whether it be Instagram or Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. I'm still going to call it Twitter. But make sure that you check it out for some free tickets that you can score for that match. Moving on, man, on Saturday night, Dash took on Racing Louisville, a team that was currently sitting in first place of their Challenge Cup table, and surprisingly got a big win. Obviously a 1-0 win at home. You take that. The Dash are basically eliminated from that tournament. They would just play one more match this weekend against Chicago Red Stars. But it's great to be able to see them finally click a little bit. Of course, we know that they have plenty of players out in World Cup duties. Sadly, Canada has been eliminated. Argentina's been eliminated, even though Paulina Gramalia, it's out on loan in a Brazil team. And then by the time you listen to this, we'll find out the fate of Jamaica and Sloan, as well as, no, I think that's it right there, because Nigeria ended up passing through. So at least you have one Dash player still in contention in the playoffs for the Women's World Cup. So, keep up with them. It's been great to see catch the World Cup, even though some really early games, if you're like me and it's difficult to catch those 2-3 in the morning games, make sure you wake up for the ones early, 5 or 6 a.m. if you can. But to start, again, the Dash ended up winning 1-0 with a goal from Ebony Salmon. Pretty good goal, pretty good setup by Ryan Garris. So to start, you had obviously Jane Campbell, the keeper. Your defenders, you had Peterson, Pressock, Newton or Lynn, and Daiseco. Dadaisco. I don't know why you pronounce that so bad, but that's me. I pronounce everything kind of bad. You have Vigiano in the midfield, Jacobs as well. And then your attackers, you had Tucker on one of the sides, Maria Sanchez, and Ryan Garris, as I mentioned, and of course the goal scorer, Ebony Salmon, who again, it had been a while since she had gotten a goal, and it was good to see that happen again. And later on in the game, you had Ordonez come in, and we got to see Joel Anderson again, which was good to see. And of course, Sarah Putnam, the brand new pickup from Germany, from Cole, got some minutes. So overall, I think, even with the team being eliminated from the Challenge Cup, good to see them perform well. Not a lot of rotation, which makes some sense since there's not going to be a lot of games left for them. Again, they'll play one more this weekend, then they'll go in a little bit of a break before the league restarts a few weeks from now. So playing your starter makes a lot of sense. Give them some action, give them some time to build some chemistry. So overall, Sam Laity has to be pretty pleased, and I'm sure they're look to get more points, even though it won't really mean much for them. But going to Chicago, getting another win there against the last place on that table would be great. The Dash will end up with 9 points, and the gap wouldn't look as bad with Louisville with 12, Kansas City with 10 currently, Dash with 6, and Chicago with 1 point. So yeah, overall, really good showing. I was there. Me and Rodrigo were on the sidelines. Rodrigo was taking pictures. We actually got to enjoy the game pretty close and take note of everything that was happening. So it was good to see the ladies, put up a show. A good amount of fans actually showed up, even though they're kind of competing with the Astros. I think it was a good amount of people at the stadium, and it's good to see, people supporting the local soccer team for sure, man. So that's right there, the 2 matches that we saw this weekend. And a couple days from now, we'll be having Dynamo take on a rivalry that we all kind of are a little familiar with, which is against Pachuca. So Houston Dynamo kind of put everything in the hands, I would say, of Orlando and Santos. Luckily, Orlando was able to get the win over Santos and on Saturday, allowing for the Dynamo, I guess, to continue in the tournament. This time they went in as runner-ups of the table. Therefore, that would be taking on one of the teams that had a bye, which was Pachuca. This rivalry, we've known for a while about this rivalry, right? I mean, it goes back to like 2007, 2008, 2009. The teams have played each other multiple times. So it's always good to see those rivalries kind of spark again. Pachuca currently right now is not in the best of shape. It's kind of interesting. Not that the Houston's any better per se, but Pachuca has not won a game in 5 of their last matches. So if this is the time for a Dynamo to maybe, play the Cinderella and get one over a team that it's obviously going to be in, the favorite in Pachuca, playing at home, Houston should have a good opportunity to shock the CONCACAF region and beat Pachuca. Of course, you don't really know till they take on each other. But it's going to be a fun match for sure. I mean, Pachuca, you look at their squad and it's not like they have like massive stars like they did when they took, faced each other back in, 10, 12 years ago. But you could say the same thing with the Dynamo. Obviously, we know like Brian Shing, Pat Onstad. Yeah, I mean, you can just go from literally the best players that the Dynamo have seen. Obviously Brad Davis. You have D-Row. You have just so many players that are club legends for the Dynamo. They were able to take part in the matches against Pachuca. So those games have already been good. And now, obviously, you're tying it all together with Hector Herrera right now being on the team. And obviously, he became a professional with Pachuca. So there's always going to be that narrative. And now, you have players like Coco. You have players like Aliou Ibrahim, who have been playing pretty well. Obviously, Griffin Dorsey has been playing, balls out lately. Balls out, lights out, same difference. So yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see this rivalry kind of sparking. I think it's perfect for Houston. This is going to be a difficult tournament. You see all the, if you keep up with the Leagues Cup, there's big matches that are very lopsided. Whether it be America just, winning by a massive margin, or you have, some clubs like Austin losing to not the best Mexican teams out there. So it's been a fun tournament so far. And, seeing the Dynamo continue to push forward should, bring a smile to everyone's face, no matter if, what the result is against Pachuca. Obviously, we're hoping that it's not as lopsided and maybe like a 4-5-0 against the Dynamo. But, hopefully it's an entertaining game. I know that being a Wednesday night game, which I believe is going to be a 7:30 p.m. game, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. So it's going to be obviously a midweek game, late. Hopefully people show up, man. Hopefully people understand the importance of a match like this. And I don't know how many Pachuca fans are out. I know at least there's one, Manny from EV, but hopefully people go out, support the team, and are able, the guys are able to put up a show and keep fighting for a longer run by beating Pachuca for sure. So this should be a really fun match. Expect the best out of both of the teams. Again, Pachuca not all that great, when it comes to their form, with only tying a few of the games in the last 5-6 matches, and they were on a bye, so you also have that chance of catching them cold, while the Dynamo already played 2 competitive matches before this one. So it's gonna be a good game. This tournament has looked like it's been set up for the MLS, at least that's the excuse that we keep hearing from Liga MX and their fans. So I'm a big Chivas fan currently. Right now, Chivas is playing against Sporting Kansas City, trying to make it past to the next round. It's gonna be a long shot, but again, it's one of those that you're watching the game, you're seeing your team, you're seeing them kind of really try to push forward, and there's nothing better than that, in my opinion. So hopefully the Dynamo can pull this off. We're with you, Dynamo, and for sure the Bayou City Soccer will be there covering the game, obviously covering the Dynamo. And man, I just want to thank you guys for the support. We're trying to keep doing as much content as you guys, love and, and are wanting. So hopefully this new video series that we're making for our YouTube channel, whether it be just putting a whole podcast or short videos like this one, brings you some entertainment. And again, I know that you probably saw that we started a, buy me coffee type of thing. So, if you feel free, if you feel compelled to maybe give, towards what we do here, it's really appreciated. Don't feel obligated, but of course it'll go a long way in helping us continue the content that we bring you guys. Obviously, we don't do it for the paycheck. We don't do it for the fame. We just do it because we love the sport and we want to, continue to just continue to cover the soccer teams that we love. So, just make sure that whatever you do, go to BayouCitySoccer.net. Check our social medias, whether it be Instagram, Twitter, X. I guess you should call it X now, right? I don't know. Threads, Facebook. Just look us up as Bayou City Soccer. Make sure to, hit the like button, subscribe to this podcast, to this YouTube as well. And we'll stay in touch. Bye.